Welcome everybody. Today we're going to be looking at taking charge of your health. And with us is Paul Hogendijk from Ancient Pathways. Now Paul, in this day and age where we have people who seem to be living longer, but we seem to be in such poor health, why is that?
Well, essentially it has a lot to do with the fact that we don't look at the fact that we do have power around our health. We do have control around our health. We do have the ability to choose what foods we put in our bodies. And so a lot of times it's what I call outsourcing. It's where you say, I'm not in charge of it, I'll do what I do, and then we've been taught or shown or whatever you want to call it, educated to go to a doctor if the wheels fall off and get something done about it. That the doctor will take care of you, the doctor will look after you, the doctor will give you a pill or an operation or whatever it is. And yet we've not engaged fully in the fact that it is our bodies and that we have control over it, and of the foods that we have, the thoughts that we have. And so we've missed out on that very important link.
So what can we do? What foods are good for people to actually eat?
Well, there's a lot of talk about the concept of cleansing the body, cleaning it out. You know, a lot of people go on these fasts and juice fasts and this and that, and look, some of them are really good. The thing is that Oriental medicine and ancient wisdom, when you're coming to food, would say to you that we are a self-cleansing organism. Our bodies will automatically clean themselves. They know what they need to do. It's just that most of the time we don't give them a chance. So we might eat well on one day and then not so well on another. We'll put junk food in our bodies, or we forget to drink water. If we're consistent and if we're steady, and if we look at the fresh healthy foods that are available and in most countries are abundant everywhere, then we have a much better chance of taking control of our health.
Okay, so are there specific foods that we should stay away from?
Largely your sugars. Your sugars are one of the most damaging things that you can put in your body, and yet it's available everywhere. Everything that you know, if you look at the labels, there's sugar in it. Why is that? Whether it's tomato sauce or whether it's whatever, there's so many things. So I'm thinking, you know, what is that whole concept about? Why are we putting sugar in everything? Look at your sugars. You know, get back to your natural sugars. Your fruits and things like that are going to be far better for you. So those sorts of things are important. We look at of the obvious ones like tobacco, for example, or too much alcohol, too much coffee, all those sorts of things. And making sure that you keep those in balance or abstain from them totally. Most of the time people know intuitively what is okay for their bodies and what isn't. I will say that constitutionally, when you want to refine it, when you want to look at, okay, I'm taking charge of my health now, I want to know what sorts of foods are going to be best for me. It's not a one-size-fits-all in that situation. So we do have certain foods that are better for certain constitutions, and when we learn that, then we begin to hone and fine-tune and feed our bodies, look after the weak link, should you say, in our bodies.
So how can people find out what their constitution is and how to eat correctly for their constitution?
Well, we need to go back to, you know, well, my field is in Oriental medicine, and it's very specific. And this medicine is well over 5,000 years old, and they know what they're talking about. If you are suffering, for example, with a lot of bloating and a lot of discomfort in the stomach, you might have loose bowel movements often. If you look at your tongue, it'll be pale, it'll be swollen, and you know, and it may even have a white coat on it. These are all indications that your spleen, your digestive system isn't functioning properly, and you need to look after that part of your body. So what would you do in that case? You go, okay, what do I need to do? Definitely I need to keep away from my breads and things like that, which slow us down. As I say, that bread is a dough when it's baked, and it becomes a dough again when you eat it. So it tends to block everything up, bloat everything up. But if you abstain from that, you're still having problems, then look at the fact that you want to be putting in warm foods. You want to be ingesting things like sweet potato, pumpkin soup, the yellow-orange foods, You can have, as far as fruits go, your best ones will be your pawpaw, because it has digestive enzymes in it. The pineapple has bromelain in it. That is another good digestive enzyme. So you're getting to, again, your foods are color coded. Your yellow-orange foods are going to be the best. Carrots would be another good one. You get into things, warm foods like soups, stews, chicken soups, veggie soups, those sorts of things. If it's a summertime and it's too hot to be having soup, then what will you be doing is steaming your vegetables. So you might do beans, broccoli, sweet potato, pumpkin. You'd steam all of those up, then you let it cool down and you create your salads and everything around that, add your dressings to it. But it's pre-cooked, it's all broken down already, and it's in a digestible form, it's in a more digestible form. It's easier for your spleen to digest. Your spleen then takes everything that you put into it and begins to create the fluids and the blood for your body, and then ships it onto the liver. If people are having things like nausea and migraines, headaches, then you're looking at the fact that the spleen is not giving the liver what it needs. A classic migraine is nausea and headaches. Feed the spleen, look after that, and the liver will be less cranky. You're less likely to have those real, what we call gallbladder headache, where you get the real tightness across the top, the sides of the head. And some of those can be debilitating when you take ice out of your diet, which is huge. And a lot of people chew on ice. I don't know why, but they're putting their digestive fires out. When they're having cold drinks all the time, it's the same thing. Young girls that are drinking lots and lots of cold drinks, Coke and all the rest of it, you are suppressing your spleen, you're suppressing your digestive system, therefore you can't get the blood for your periods. You'll have period pain and problems and headaches and nausea, which often go with it. So it's basically it's really common sense. Oriental medicine, with the way that they look at their food and the diet, is really it's grounded in very good common sense. If, for example, you're having trouble with your lungs and you're getting lots of colds and things every year in the winter time, you need to have a look at things like your onions and your garlic, or your white pungent foods, those sorts of things that will help. Spring onions would be another one. You could get into things like ginger and ginger drinks to build up your chi. And what I mean by your chi is your life force around your body, so that you're not open and available to those things when they come through. You can prepare for winter in that way. If you are having trouble with sore back and you're not sleeping particularly well, you have broken sleep, or you're getting up to go to the toilet a lot, your kidneys are deficient. Your kidney energy is low. And it's really common in our society because we run on our adrenals all the time, push, 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 push. What do we need to do there? We need to go to our dark and our salty foods, and naturally salty foods. So we go to black beans, which is one of the best things you can do. You can do black bean and avocado. You can add all sorts of different things in with that. You have your oysters, you have your mussels, all of those things that they say are good for your sex life. They are, because they're full of zinc, and they actually tonify the kidney as well. Your green leafy vegetables are standard right across, doesn't matter what is going on with your body. So you understand that with the research, there's a whole lot of things that people can do towards their own health and feeding themselves properly.
Great. So where can they learn, or who can they go to learn all of this?
Well, Oriental medicine practitioner would be a really good start. There's also a beautiful book called Healing with Whole Foods that we use as our Bible. A man called Paul Pitchford has that one. He's done 4 or 5 different volumes of it, but it's all on healing the body with food, natural foods. And there's so much research on it. It's a subject you need to get passionate about, because really what we see in our clinic so often is that people do nothing. They think it's a bit of a joke. They're lazy. They won't do anything around, what they know they could do, and it's all fine till the wheels fall off. When the wheels fall off, it's a major problem. And I'll often say that, you know, people will do anything when they've been told that they have a form of cancer or something, or an incurable disease. They will do anything to get better. So why wouldn't they have done it in the first place? Cure the disease before it arises. Make sure that you're on the ball when it comes to your food. Make sure also that you're getting clean organic foods as much as you can. If there's no source of it, grow it. Find a little patch in your garden and grow your food. You got too much lawn, chop some of it up and put something productive in there. Make sure that you teach your children how to grow food. Save the seeds, because a lot of our heritage seeds are getting very hard to get now. And it's imperative that we're not eating a lot of this GMO stuff that we've been delivered and given in all sorts of different shapes and forms. Know where your food is coming from. Go to your organic markets. Support those growers. Make sure that they know that they are recognised, that they're a valuable part of your community. In actual fact, we go down there at least twice a week, and what we can't grow, we'll go and buy. So as clear as you can to the source of your food, as natural as possible. The more processed your food, the more danger you're in. The further away you get away from nature, the worse it is. Look at your colourings, look at your flavourings, all those sorts of things, and listen to your body. Your body will tell you. And I often say that everything tastes good in the first half hour. Everything that you ingest in the first half hour will taste pretty good. Doesn't matter whether it's ice cream or chocolate. And we have that every now and again. Mostly we regret it when we've done it. You know, we're all human, and it's very important that we have that. You know, that we do break out every now and again, but get yourselves back on track as quickly as you can. So you sit down to a big plate of ice cream, or whatever it is that is your vice, cookies or whatever, and you eat it, and it tastes good. But I can guarantee you, if you tune into your body half an hour later, it's going to be telling you a different story. It's not going to be happy with you. So listen, take note. What would you rather do instead? Sit down to a healthy meal, fresh food, clean food, organic food. Enjoy every bit of it, and then wait for half an hour. And you'll notice the effects of that energy going through your body is still there. It's supporting you. It's making you feel good. You feel cleansed. You feel strong. You know, again, I talked a little bit in the last series about depression and anxiety. A lot of it comes from our foods, from not eating properly. The junk food that we're just pouring into our systems without even realizing what it does and the effects that it has. So take charge of your health in that way as well.
So what would the ancient tribes, the way they used to eat, how would looking back at that help us in this day?
Well, they didn't have supermarkets, of course. So what they had to do was they had to hunt and they had to gather. Everything was seasonal, so we can learn from that. Do I have avocados that have come from Guatemala when they're out of season here? No, I don't. I buy what's local. I have what's local in this area at this particular season, at this particular time of the year. Because that's what our bodies need. Think of it, why do we have cucumbers in the summertime? You know, why do we have beautiful watermelons in midsummer? It's because we're supposed to have them then. Why do the oranges and the citrus come on in the wintertime? Because we're supposed to have them then. And this is the thing, you don't need oranges in midsummer. You don't need them at a time of year that is out of season with where you are. So the ancients knew that. A, they didn't have a choice, but B, that's how they lived. They ate sparingly. They remembered that they had to prepare for the next day. They couldn't sit down and eat it all in one go. And of course it was a lot fresher and cleaner and closer to nature. It hadn't been altered. Remember I said to you that when you start to alter your food and you start to change it, you are more and more in danger with what you're eating. You don't have to improve on nature, in other words. Look at your vitamins as well. You know, because a lot of these vitamins are made by petrochemical companies now. They're not good for you. They're toxic. And within 30 days you have to come off most of those and give yourself a break from them. So You say, I need my vitamin C, I'm getting a lot of colds. Well, no, you don't. What you need is the orange. In other words, you need the whole food to make a difference. You need all the bioflavonoids, all the micronutrients, all the other things that we don't even know about yet that live in an orange or a lemon or a tomato. To take a vitamin C, make it in a laboratory, heat press it, put it in a tablet and sell it over the counter was ridiculous. If you look at the B vitamins, they all need to be together. They all need to be combined. So you can't just say, oh, well, I need B6 or I need B3 or I need B12. Yes, you do. What is your natural source of those things? So you start to look at that. Look at your whole foods way, way more than you do. Can you supplement? Yes. But if you supplement, look at one of the best things that we do now in our clinic or and outside of our clinic is that we recommend people go to your good green organic powders. So you can go to any number of places that produce high quality ground down greens and vegetables. Some of them have up to 80 different vegetables and fruits in them. That's a way better way of getting it because your body understands. Yes, I understand this is kale, this is spirulina, these are shiitake mushrooms, this is acerola cherry, and all of those things, providing your company is ethical, and there are some really good ones out there now. It's a wonderful way of getting nutrition into your body. You can also do green smoothies, as we started back on recently, and they're fantastic things. And what we do is we start with our beautiful blender and we start putting in nuts and seeds, we start putting in kale, we add fruit to it, our green powders to it, and we have this beautiful drink. Now that's a wonderful start to the day. And you start doing that for a few days and it'll make a massive difference to you. If you're spleen deficient, be careful. Remember I said to you, if you have too much cold or too much raw food, that's going to be a problem. So you need to listen to your body at that point.
Okay, thank you. So it looks like we really have to know what our constitution is, to eat according to our constitution, to eat according to the seasons and to what's freshly available to us each day, because if we want to eat fresh, then we need to be getting it as much as we can unprocessed. Would that be right?
Definitely.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for being with us today, Paul, and we look forward to the next time.
You're very welcome.